everybody. Well, this is the first for me. I'm having some guests here tonight. It's not something I've done more than one person before. I think the three of them have been like friends of mine, like people like not on YouTube. I've had like one YouTuber named Will Meister that lives in Indianapolis. He's he's a nice kid. But yeah, this is exciting. Huck's gonna eventually show up tonight. He had something happen with work, and he had to take a call, so he's gonna join us here shortly. But yeah, this is real exciting. I think Superman's been out for about maybe 3 weeks now, almost about that. So I thought we would do like maybe like a spoiler episode since it's been out for quite a while. Yeah, so we've got some people in the chat here. Sure, on here.
Jose, what's up, Jose?
Yeah. How's it going?
And Nate, there it is. I think this happened on one of the other ones. I said hi to everybody, and not me.
You got you in there.
No bit. Yeah, he did. He came back around.
What's up, Nate?
What's up, guys?
So yeah, just starting off here. I mean, I thought this movie was fun. I thought it was a fun movie, but I did kind of think it was more of maybe like a kids movie, sort of. It's PG-13, so it is something that's. And I think when I saw the trailer originally, when I saw Crypto, I thought, yeah, this movie's probably not going to be extremely serious, you know. So I don't know how you guys felt about that. I mean, I maybe thought this might be kind of a humorous kind of, movie, and that's kind of how I went into it. So I don't know how you guys felt. We're gonna do like a first question here. Will be give 3 positives and three negatives of what you thought about this movie. So Nate, I'm going to start with you because I know what Mike's got.
Okay, and we're allowed to speak. We're allowed to speak freely on this.
Really?
Freely. Absolutely. Okay. I love having no shackles, right? We just say whatever we want. So if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it, then come back and watch this. I'm going to say specifics, but I'll still avoid super spoilers, I guess, whatever. Okay. 3 positives. Number 1, I thought the cast was fantastic. I thought David Corenswet was a very good choice. I think he looked the part. I liked his performance. I thought he was really good. I also thought Rachel Brosnahan was a great choice for Lois Lane. I enjoyed her performance as well. And even the smaller characters like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I forget the guy who plays Mr. Terrific, but the guy from Twilight he was in there. He was really good. Nicholas Hoult, fantastic as Luthor. So I really liked the cast. So that's positive number 1. Positive number 2, I did think the action scenes were well done. I'm a big action movie fan. So anytime these comic book movies come out, obviously I want a good story. I want good characters. But I also very heavily look at the action of these movies. And I thought this one had good action. Pretty exciting. A good amount of action scenes. I do have one that's kind of a negative, but I'll save that. But yeah, I thought the action scenes were well done. I thought the cast was very good. Another positive, I did think the tone was right. I do think tonally they got the right. What's up, Huck? I do think tonally they got the right sort of balance between. It wasn't overly serious, but there were moments. But it was bright. It was, kind of more so what I imagine a Superman movie should be. So, cast, action, tone. Those are my positives. Do you want me to do my negatives now, or?
Yeah, go do your negatives. Yeah.
Okay. Negatives. All right. Since we could speak freely, absolutely hated what they did with Jor-El in this movie. Did not like it. Have talked with multiple people about it. And hate it still. I'll never like it. For me, it didn't work. I was not a fan of it.
Bradley Cooper.
Yes, I absolutely hated that whole subplot because it's ultimately it wasn't needed, and I feel like unless it's revealed later that it was false, let's say, it kind of really why assassinate that character for the sake of something you didn't really need because. Superman was already good and fighting for good. So I hated that. I did not like that at all. Number 2, for me, although I liked the action scenes, Superman gets beat up way too much in this movie. Way too much. And another one. Listen, this movie out for 2 weeks. I've been talking with people all the time about it, left and right. Oh, he's still early on in his Superman. Oh, okay, fine, sure. 3 years. You get the little opening text. This is the first fight he's lost. And all you see him do throughout the movie is lose fights. He loses and loses and loses. He has to get saved every time. Crypto got to save him. And Lois and Mr. Terrific got to save him. And everybody got to save him all the time. I feel like he's so powerful. Maybe James Gunn was trying to balance it. Like, well, if he's too powerful, then whatever. I feel like you can do that without just making him lose fights constantly. Just make it tough. Make it hard, but let him win. Without having to get saved every time. So that was a little annoying. My only other big negative was I did talk about the action scenes, and I did like them a lot. However, a few of them felt too similar to stuff I've seen. Matter of fact, from James Gunn, the Mr. Terrific scene on the beach, not a carbon copy, but close to the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with what was his name? The blue guy, Michael Rooker's character.
Right, yeah.
The little whistle, same sort of concept, little thing going around, pop song playing. I'm like, okay, you're copying your own self a little bit with this action scene. So didn't love that particular one. And I feel like a lot of people did like it. And I thought I would have thought it was cooler if I didn't see it already. So it reminded me too much of that. Those are my negatives. But overall, I feel like I felt better about the positives than the negatives overall for myself.
Right. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go to Huck now, and Mike, I'm going to go third because I know what you got coming here, and I think I can piggyback on what you say, Mike. But Huck, go ahead and give me your 3 positives and 3 negatives about the movie.
All right, let's go ahead and pull down Jose's comment as well. It's been down here a while.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's right over our
I'm sorry.
hulking chests.
I thought I took. Yeah.
Huck wants to show off that shirt.
I'm sorry. I took the comments out. And then, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't realize that I had to see the comments because I took the comments off. All right.
That's a common thing. All right, so the positive. So I'm gonna just jump in and say probably similar to what you were saying, Nate. I missed the opening, but definitely the tone. It is absolutely 100% the right tone for Superman. I don't care what people. I get the people who like to say Man of Steel is a great movie. That's fine. That just means you're not a Superman fan. You like darkness, that's fine. You're a Batman fan. When it comes to Superman, the reason there's a great balance between these two guys is you got the big Boy Scout, and then you got the guy that sort of breaks the rules. And if they are too similar, there's no dynamic. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're going to see a dynamic because that Batman's going to come in and he's not going to like that. And that's what I love. We're going to have Superman, the Boy Scout, against, the rule breaker. So I love the tone. I think David Cornsweet, the other positive, is a fantastic Superman. And look, this is a guy who loved Brandon Routh. I thought he was hosed in having a nice trilogy because he just got a carbon copy of Superman the movie and couldn't go anywhere with it. Thankfully, he had a nice little button on the CW, getting to play the Kingdom Come Superman. So that was great. So therefore, if this continues along this route, Cornsweet will be my second favorite Superman after Chris Reeve. Chris Reeve, I don't think will ever be beat because I think he's the only one so far that's been given the duality of Clark and Superman and had something to go with. And it's funny because if you think about it, he doesn't become Superman and Clark Kent until an hour into the movie because the whole first hour is Smallville and stuff. This is the Chris Reeve. So by only doing it in the second half of a movie, he did more in that second half than any other actor playing Clark/Superman has in a full 2-hour movie. And that to me is astonishing. Nod to the cap for Chris. So Cornsweet, I think, although when he is playing Clark, he's quite goofy, and I loved it. There's a moment when Jimmy Olsen shows him, hey, look, check out the pictures I got, and he starts slapping Clark on the leg, and Clark starts doing this goofy little dance.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's all you needed was that the physical moment like that to show you the relationship he has with Jimmy. And when he's Clark, the personalities that just happen. I don't think he's faking any of that. I think something happens to him as Clark that he just organically knows how to go and be silly, but be serious, and not the part like when he's with Lois being interviewed. I think that's when he's turning on both dualities at the same time, because he has to answer the question, but also pull back and hear it as Clark. You know what I mean? So anyway, Corn Sweat, fantastic. And look, I'm gonna go with Crypto as the third, because I know a lot of people either I don't know, like people that just dislike it, except for Mike holding his hat, who apparently hates love and pets and puppies and you know, hell raisers like a dog. You know, look, you gotta to bring in a super dog was, I think, a stroke of genius, because it brings in that family. And you got to see this movie as a family, like the 4-quadrant movie it's trying to be. You can't just sit there and go, it's not my Superman, it's not Man of Steel. Otherwise, you're missing the point. So to bring in Crypto and have him be just super hilarious, even when he's not supposed to be, like Superman's all beat up and Crypto's jumping on him and you're laughing. That's that balance that I think Gunn did for the most part fairly well. There might be a couple of times where it was a little bit out of place, but I think he just does that very well. So, I mean, that's just 3. I'm going to throw in a fourth honorable mention, say Mr. Terrific, because that is a character no one's heard of. Sorry, anybody out of comics has no clue who that guy is. And for people to walk away, and I'm hearing this saying that was their favorite character, or he was one of the best parts of the movie, is a testament to Gunn, again, digging into the bottom of the barrel, finding characters like he did in the Suicide Squad that bring something special to the rest of the movie. All right, the negatives. I mean, Superman does have his ass handed to him a lot, but I do think, Nate, he also wins more than you're giving him credit for. But I think that's the thing, is Gunn is saying, okay, we can't have him so powerful, because the whole criticism that everyone has is he's not relatable. He's too good. He's unstoppable. Well, so what we got here is someone who's a little bit more stoppable, maybe a little bit more than you wanted, but that does help those people who have a problem with that kind of get on board, saying, okay, there are things. And look, if you look at the things that took him down, it was his goodness that took himself down. He allowed himself to bring to get arrested, and by doing that, he got into the spatial dimension, you know, the pocket dimension, where there was kryptonite. So he got screwed based on his goodness, not because people were besting him, but because he bested himself by trying to do the right thing, and that led to those things. And then then he's able to, through circumstances, get out, and Crypto help out and things like that. So more negatives. I don't have a ton on here. I will say that maybe like the moment when it's kind of hilarious at the same time, but it maybe overstays its welcome. Although I did see it a second time, and it's better. You know, when Lois is having that heart-to-heart with Clark, Superman, when the Justice Gang is beating up on that interdimensional thing outside, and it's just a throwaway. She's like, do you need to be out there? He goes, no, it's just a interdimensional thing. They got this one. Well, like, he knows what they're capable of, and that he doesn't need to be a part of that. So it's kind of funny that that's happening in the background. But let's kind of like turn the camera away from it after a while, so that we can focus on what Lois and Clark are talking about. So, because while they're saying these heart-to-hearts, you start laughing again, because the Green Lantern is whacking the thing like a lightsaber on the head. So that's where it just goes a little too far, for me. And I'm still on the fence. I'm with you, Nate, about Jor-El and his thing. And I'm sorry, if it's legit, I feel that everyone believed Lex so easily. People are taking their pins off of Clark. They're like taking I'm like, oh my God, this guy's been around for 3 years and they've showed all this love. And instantly they're like, boo. But then instantly when they hear the thing about Lex, they instantly turn on Lex. Like, we have, no one fact checks anything in this movie. So that's another they just buy it hook, line, and sinkers. That's the other little. Yeah.
Well, that's a whole social media kind of angle that they had to bring younger people in. That they had a definite thing. Like people can turn on people through social. They would see something on the news or social media, and they're going to turn, even on Superman, they'll turn on him, because he's not.
Like that. They just believe it.
I think that's going to be in Mike's positives. The monkeys on the computers. typing the
Yeah, I love that.
social
That was a
media.
great scene. Yeah.
More monkeys.
That was funny, but yeah, Mike, go ahead and give me your three positives and then.
3 positives.
Jenny, listen to me.
Well, first, I will say I like this movie. I gave it 3 stars. 3 stars is kind of my average rating. If you do less than that for a superhero movie, you did something terribly wrong. Okay. So I like the movie overall, but okay. I'll start with positives. I don't want to rant too much. So positives. Even though I think the movie was terribly miscast, I will say the actors, the performers, actually did a good job with the terrible script they were given. So they did their best. I mean, Corn Sweat was really trying there with the terrible dialogue he was given. He tried. He gave it his all. So I'll say that. I felt like every actor was giving it their all, and I do appreciate that. And even actors that I'm like, why is this guy here? Nathan Fillion. Like, why is this person here? He was actually pretty decent. He was funny. I'll give him that. So better than I expected. I thought he was going to be terrible. I will also say the costumes, all the visuals, just how the movie looked, like you guys were saying, colorful, it popped. That was all fine. So there was no visual effect in there where I'm like, whoa, that's off. Something doesn't feel right here. It was at least clean. So James Gunn did his homework at least, proper editing, all that good stuff. So I appreciate that. Another positive. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. The social commentary angle, especially by the end of the movie, actually gave some value and messaging to the movie. And without that, this movie could have been maybe a 2-star. So I appreciate it going bold. I didn't know if James Gunn was going to do that. So that was cool. He did something a little bit different, So I appreciate that. All right. Those were the positives. Negatives. Oh my gosh. I'll try to stick to a few here.
Pick your 3 most.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah, for
first of all,
someone who likes this movie, you are breathing heavy.
hey, we're critics here. I got to give a fair critique. So I got to say, honestly, what I like, what I don't like. So first of all, it all starts with the title. Yes, even the title now pisses me off. So they changed the title to Superman, which was actually the movie I wanted. So if this movie was Superman, I would have appreciated that. It was not. This was a Superman Legacy movie. It should have stuck with Superman Legacy. Even if they changed it to Justice League, that would have been a fitting title. Because this movie was a Justice League movie. This was not a solo Superman movie.
Yeah,
this was definitely a side-off Justice League movie. It felt like a Justice League Saturday cartoon I would turn on with that like family vibe tone where it's like, okay, gather the family around, get a bowl of cereal, let's which to me is just not what I'm looking for in a DC movie. I like my DC movies dark, gritty. I like them to be tonally different than other superhero movies. Like Marvel already covers family stuff pretty well, so I like that for Marvel. So DC, I want something different just so it doesn't get too samey. I don't want it to be boring where I feel like every superhero movie is the same thing. And that's like when X-Men went from Fox to Disney. I'm like, oh man, I'm pissed off now because now the tone's going to become very similar, right? I don't want stuff with the same tone. I want different tone superhero movies, so it keeps it interesting. So for this feeling, it felt like Guardians of the Galaxy, but not as good as Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm like, oh man, James Gunn totally James Gunn this movie out. Like, oh, it shows how amazing Zack Snyder is though, because he did a wonderful job with his Snyder universe in terms of tone and all that. Okay. Oh, and so this Superman movie, I will say, is almost my least favorite. I dislike Superman 4 more, but after that, it's this movie. I like all other Superman movies over this one. I mean, I'll put this above Supergirl for including that stuff too. Okay. So yeah, the tone was terrible. Man of Steel is a masterpiece and my top 100 movies of all time. So, oh man. Oh, I want Man of Steel. I feel like I'm going to watch that movie tonight. Just put me in a good mood. Okay.
So I like
I said, too many characters here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the characters didn't even have any like shiny moments, like Hawk Girl. Like, why the hell was she there? She didn't do dilly crap. So I'm like, why are you stuffing so many characters in this movie? Crypto Super Dog annoyed the heck out of me. It was like the worst behaved dog I've ever seen in my life. And my dog's pretty misbehaved, but now I look like a stud parent for this dog I have. I mean, oh my gosh, this dog was terribly behaved, bugged me a whole lot of the time, and saved more people than Superman in a Superman movie. You call it Crypto the Super Dog. You can call it that movie title if you want now. So yeah, I didn't like any of the characters, not just on the hero side. Villains, terrible. Like the engineer, like who the hell is that? I don't know who that is. So I didn't like the villains either. It was like, oh, hey, tech bros together, and we're fighting this veteran Superman. Like we're 3 years in, and Superman's getting his ass kicked by some tech bros. Like, oh my gosh, this isn't even a starting Superman movie.
8, 9.
And you're and you're just getting your butt handed to you 3 years in. Like if this was first day of Superman, like people don't even give Henry Cavill Man of Steel credit, and he's like Superman for a day in that movie, and they're all complaining about how he's doing in the fight. I'm like, this guy's 3 years in. Like, come on now, let's be fair here. So yeah, I didn't like any of the characters here. Once again, the story just felt very generic, very Marvel-y. Yeah, I mean, there just wasn't a lot to like about this movie, unfortunately. So.
Man, sounds like you should change your score.
Like I said,
score.
There's
not a lot to like.
No, I love superhero movies. Like I said, it's a fine Saturday cartoon. It's like what I would expect out of any kind of generic superhero. It's very paint by the numbers. Like it was so paint by the numbers superhero movie for me that I'm like, it's James Gunn. Like, do better than this. Like, we've already had so many great DC movies before. Like, you got to do something better. And it felt like, okay, let's play it the safest way possible to make it a family film, to try to maximize the money. But when you play it as safe as possible, then there's nothing to really get excited about. It's just, okay, it's fine. So, DC Universe here, DOA, like, let's stop it now. Give it back to Zack Snyder. Like, it's gonna work right. I give you the benefit of the doubt, James Gunn. Go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, let's go, Zack Snyder. I'm more of a Zack Snyder fan. Like, I didn't realize how much I appreciated that director with his cool, unique visual style until now. But oh yeah, this.
Yes, because his scripts and storytelling was so special.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. And it was different. It was different feeling too. Like his style is very unique, which I really love. Where this, once again, it's a Marvel movie. I've seen so many Marvel movies this year. It just felt like another
just for conversation, Mike. I mean, I see where you're going, but I do want to say I disagree when you say it's more. I get that it's lighter in tone, which Marvel is. But you're also saying you like when superhero things are different. But if you want Batman and Superman to both be dark, then that's not different. So you got to have something stand out.
No, so I don't want those characters to be different tonally. Those characters should match tonally. Like, I don't get how this Superman is going to go into the Batman universe. Like, with how dark the Batman was and how kind of like, I mean, the villain didn't even have flair. Like, that's going to be a weird matchup. Like, all these colorful characters now going into a dark. So I want DC tonally to have some kind of vibe if you're going to combine the characters. I'm actually kind of over the multi-universe stuff, so I would just do kind of solo, trilogies or whatever with each individual character. I'm tired of all these mashups, adding in more characters. Like, I'm over that, so I actually want to get away from the multiverse stuff. But once again, like I said, it just feels all the same now. Like, we just saw Thunderbolts. Like, all these movies are I'm feeling the superhero fatigue. And I don't want to feel that way as a big superhero genre fan. Like, that's my favorite genre. But I love the days when you get different kind of stuff. Like, you had Blade and The Punisher and Spider-Man, Sam Raimi movies. And you had the X-Men stuff in the Fox universe, right? You had stuff that just felt way different from each other. And I'm like, I kind of want to go back to those days. I get away from this DC multiverse and Marvel multiverse stuff.
Well, I mean, so far, it's not technically a multiverse. There were
you had how many superhero characters in this movie? Come on.
Hold on. Multiple characters doesn't mean a multi-universe. This just means you have characters in this thing. That's not a multi-universe. Just to put it in a perspective, it's not.
I disagree, because we know the Supergirl movie is announced. You already had Supergirl in here. Like, it's a connected universe. Like, this isn't a standalone
The
franchise.
Justice Gangs.
Like,
well, yeah, but
it's not multiverse. It's one universe where Supergirl goes and plays on other planets.
So you're telling me you don't think these super characters will ever meet the Batman characters?
That doesn't mean you're mixing it up. That doesn't mean it's a separate universe.
But there's already a different Batman universe planned with Batman and the Bulb.
Look,
how can you have two Batmans not in different universes?
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Is I don't think they're going to go with Robert Pattinson as their Batman. No. They're just going to let that sort of stand on its own. And look, we just have to live with that. That's going to be something they want.
It's Elseworld.
Yeah, so yes. Yeah. So we're going to get a Batman that organically fits into this without being a multiverse, because multiverse would insinuate you're going to bring Robert Pattinson in, which I don't think they're going to do. So they're going to keep it in universe. And I do love the fact they're also seeing things like of spectacle, like kaijus and stuff. These are in comic books. If you read comic books, they are fantastical elements that haven't been in any other comic book movie yet, even in a Marvel thing. I mean, you got the Thanos thing. It's a big universe, but you haven't had things like kaijus and things of that sort of spectacular mythical nature yet. So that's the element I'm kind of excited to see, that element of a comic book come into this universe that, we haven't seen yet. So I do feel it's
I'm unexcited for that because I want it more grounded. Like, I think we went way too much space, way too fast. All these creature monsters I don't even know the name of. Like, oh man, like I said, I want my superhero movies a little bit more relatable. I want it very grounded. And this just went like 100 miles an hour just right away. I'm like, oh, this is too much. Like I said, it felt cartoony to me. Like, okay, now this is family cartoons. And
if I could jump back in, Steve, before you go, real
Steve,
quick.
I was gonna say, Steve.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It definitely, especially if you like Man of Steel, I feel like what they were going for with that was more Batman Begins, in the sense of Superman in a real world. Like, what would happen if Superman was on our Earth, whereas this feels like a comic book. It feels like a comic book. It feels like cartoon. So I guess it's just a preference. Like, if you want your comic book movies to feel like a comic book movie, this does that, I think, way better than Man of Steel did. If you want it grounded and like different from Marvel, let's say, then yeah, I think Man of Steel did that better, because it not even necessarily about dark, even though it was, and more so color palette dark. It was just like, hey, dude, what would happen if Superman was on Earth? Actual Earth, not comic book Earth, where there's monsters and creatures and stuff like that. So I could see why that would be a complaint.
Perfect.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but I get it.
But yeah, perfectly said. And if you look at my top 100 movies of all time, you see the Dark Knight movies in there and those kind of films. So yeah, based on my taste, my just preferences for superhero movies, yeah, there's no way I was gonna super love this. Once again, like I said, cartoony edition.
You saw it from the trailer. Like I said, when you saw Crypto, you knew it was going to be a lighter in tone. But I would say I saw this movie with my nephew. He's 16. And he loved it. I mean, to me, this movie they're definitely going for the younger demographic, because they know that demographic is going to grow older, and maybe the movies will get more mature as those kids get older. That's what tends to happen with like Star Wars and stuff like that. It kind of a little darker, but as far as my likes or positives, I liked I really liked David Corn Sweat a lot as Superman. Really liked Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Really liked Mr. Terrific. I really liked Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern, and I actually like Hawkgirl. I mean, that's Isabella Merced, which at one time she was once another character, the Dora the Explorer. I think she played that character years ago.
Oh, is that who she was? Wow.
Yeah,
it was her. Yeah,
she's better in that role. I can tell you that.
Yeah, she used to have a different last name than Merced. It was different at one time, but I don't think she got married. I think she just changed her last name. But like I said, I really liked the fun factor in this movie. I thought it was a fun movie, even though I really like Man of Steel. I like Henry Cavill a lot as Superman, but and those movies were much darker, more mature for an adult audience, not for necessarily teenagers. Or teenagers can like those movies too, but it was much darker, just like the Batman was much darker. And I like that. Just my age, kind of growing up with these characters, I was ready to see them darker. But I kind of like the light tone of these movies. They were more of like a fun, like a lot of humor in the movie for sure. Definitely a ton of humor throughout the movie. And then as far as like I thought that like they had more like it's more like a comic book movie. That's what a lot of people said. It's much more like the comics, and that's what one of my friends is a big comic book fan, and he liked it because it was more of a comic book movie. So that was something I wasn't necessarily expecting him to like necessarily, but he liked that a lot. But as far as the negatives, in the movie, I thought that it did have way too much humor. I thought Crypto kind of made it to the point where you really couldn't take it seriously. I think for me anyway. There's like one really serious scene in the movie with the Russian roulette scene in the movie. I thought that was like that when they went for that, like I thought that was really much darker than I was expecting it to go. A lot of the CGI in the movie I didn't care for. Some of it I did when Lex is in the Fortress of Solitude, and you've got the CGI these things kind of coming at him, whatever. I thought that looked really bad. Some of the scenes in that the other universe, whatever I thought that, yeah, I wrote it down here. Yeah, that some of the CGI in that world kind of looked kind of strange, and then also like say Crypto, I thought was a bit much. There's one major thing in the movie that really bothered me. It happened early in the movie, and like we referred to it earlier, Lois and Clark having this interview that lasted 20 minutes. But that really kind of dragged the movie down a bit. It's like as far as pacing in a movie, I thought that really didn't work for me. Like I thought they spent way too much time on that. I thought they could have given that same information like in a newsreel instead of having like a couple's argument. I think it took everything away from it. But overall, I still gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars. So I still enjoyed it. I saw it again the next day. I saw it on a Friday, and then I saw it on a Saturday, and then I saw it again on Sunday. So I liked it a little bit more the second time I saw it. So I overall enjoyed the movie. I think it's made like it was a worldwide like 440 million or so. So I don't know what
I'm
they
doing as good as I thought it was gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, 225 million budget. It has to make a lot, and it has Fantastic Four this weekend. So
it's gonna lose money.
I'm surprised.
Barely break even.
It's not gonna hit $1 billion or close to it.
No. Oh, it'll be lucky if it hits 700 at this point. Like, honestly, even if it gets, I don't think it'll beat Man of Steel level, which is
I think it's going to beat Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no way. Yeah, Jurassic World's just a moneymaker. I mean, you can slap that title on this movie and it'll probably make more.
I like this movie more than Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. This movie looks like a masterpiece compared to that movie. Oh, my gosh. I watched that movie 10 times over. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I had from it. Overall, there's a lot I loved about the movie. Like I said, I liked the humor throughout the movie. I laughed throughout. But to me, it just kind of gave a different kind of tone. That obviously we were talking about how Superman got beat up a lot in the movie. That's only because we found out later that Ultraman was a clone of him, and that's the only reason why he was really getting beat up so much in the movie. But overall,
now, you guys got to educate me. So, is that an actual Superman villain? Like, I don't know too much of the Superman comics, so
I don't think so.
I think the whole thing was he's going to become like Bizarro.
Yeah, that's what I thought he might be.
He's going to get sucked out into the thing, and then he'll be Bizarro, which is a comic book character. Now, I don't know the origins because I don't read Superman comics.
I'm like, because I know Bizarro, so okay. Because that's kind of what they're like. Who are these villains? Like, Superman has such great villains. Like, let's use more of his classic villains.
Never. No Brainiac ever.
I know.
No like Metallo.
Oh, Metallo. Yeah,
Lex. Every movie is Lex Luthor.
Especially for Kryptonite stuff, use Metallo paired up with Lex. Oh, man, that would have been beautiful.
Or Zod.
Oh, you never go wrong with some good Zod.
He was the villain because, they're equally powered, I guess.
Yeah, but see, I'm tired of that too. I'm tired of both Lex and Zod. Like, I don't mind. You got to have Lex in the universe somewhere. That's fine. He just, like in the cartoon, he's always present.
Yeah.
But you've got to bring in those new. He's got as cool of a rogues gallery as Batman has, and yet we keep seeing the same one. So, and yes, Ultraman is a character in the comics, by the way. His first
that's
number 29.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I know James Gunn is a very accurate as far as his comic book knowledge, so I don't doubt it. Like if it's in there, I honestly believe it's in the comics somewhere. Man, he did change some stuff. Looking at you, Jor-El. But as far as characters, like they exist. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like they're not made up.
The more I think of that too, Nate, like, oh man, that pissed me off too.
It made me mad. That's the only thing that made me like upset. Like I was watching it and I was like, this can't be. Like this can't be the route you're going to get where you're going. You didn't need it. You didn't need it. I would explain more, but I'll wait. I'll let Steve go ahead and drive the show. Steve, where are we going next?
So we were saying where Mike kind of said Mike already said where he ranked this movie. Nate, where would you rank this movie as far as your Superman films?
Okay, it's tough because I like this movie pretty good. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know what Huck scored it. You said 4, him 3. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I thought it was good. I would probably rank it. I'd probably put it like, how many are it? 4th, maybe 4th.
I put it 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably put it
there's
4th.
7 movies, yeah.
7. Okay. Yeah, I do like Man of Steel better. I would put the original Superman ahead of this one. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think Returns. I don't hate it. But it did piss me off. You know what I mean? That's the edge. Even if I give him the same score, this one made me mad, and I don't like any of this Reeve sequel. I don't like 2, 3, or 4. So I would put it right in the middle, 4th.
Oh, you don't like Superman 2?
No. Overrated. You know, I just saw it for the first time, like maybe a year or 2 ago, because I had to review it. I had never seen any of the old ones, and everyone's like, Superman 2. I remember people being, oh, Zod, blah, blah. And I watched it, I'm like, this movie stinks. So no, I don't really like it. It's not as bad as 3 or 4, but 4 is definitely last. Like that is the worst by far. But yeah, I didn't. It's not for me, and that's okay. You know, it's not. Superman's not my like character either. Like he's not someone I get excited for when I hear a Superman project. I will give it a shot, and if I like it, I like it. But he's not like a top tier for me. So those movies didn't do much for me.
Right. Yeah. Huck, did you want to go next, or what would you rank this movie as far as?
I can if you want. So yeah, I like all the things you're saying about all it. So like, it's funny. You have to dip into the other movies to really talk about this. I'm actually I'm of the camp. I'm a big Superman fan. I've always been. He's been my number one. I just love the character. I love all the iterations with when he had Superboy and then Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain, even though he opened his big fat mouth without watching the movie, but that's a whole nother thing. But the Chris Reeve movies are where it's at. I think Superman 2 by itself is a much better movie. That's right. I'll take the hill here over the Donner cut. The Donner cut, I love Richard Donner, and I think he deserved to make 2. But the Donner cut is just an incomplete movie. It's
hard to watch.
You know, just like Lester's Superman 2 borrows 45% of Donner, Donner's has to borrow over 50% of Lester's to get that version too. And because it like he uses the scene that Chris Reeve and Margot Kidder shot as a demo to see if they had chemistry. So Chris Reeve is super thin. He's like 178 pounds. It's like you get pulled out of the movie immediately when he tries to wedge that in as a real scene. I'm like, oh my, like he wasn't in the suit. The suit was like loose on his neck. So that is not nearly as good as Superman 2. But for me, Chris Reeve, that is always, I think, that to me is sort of the benchmark of all superhero movies. You start with that and then try to be better. And Marvel figured out a nice formula for themselves, and they were able to make things better. But they also have the cheat of modern CGI technology that, you know, back then they were making it up as they went, and it was a thing of beauty to watch. So for me, I don't know, given that it's a high comic book feel to it, which I don't think any movie's given us yet, puts it in second place for me, you know? So yeah, in fact, I even told my daughter, I was like, this is like probably my second favorite Superman. She goes, that's high praise. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, that's high praise. For you to say anything is your number 2. That's high praise.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and that's enjoying a lot of Superman 2 because he finally fights villains.
Yeah.
And you do get some of that scenery chewing General Zod with Terrence Stamp, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get the appeal of Man of Steel. To me, it's a good Zack Snyder movie, but it's not a great Superman movie. Like, you can like the movie, but it's really not, in its core, a good Superman movie. So that's why I put that one down a little bit lower. So,
yeah, for me, I mean, Superman 78, Christopher Reeve is definitely my Superman. That's the Superman I grew up with, and I love Superman 2. It's a second favorite, and I would put Man of Steel 3, and I'd put this one 4th because I like it a lot more than Brandon Routh and Superman 3 and Superman 4. Though Superman 4 especially is a mess. Like, they didn't really want to make that movie all that badly, and that was supposed to be like a charity, like some kind of a peace kind of thing for Christopher Reeve kind of did, and I think he didn't even make the movie he really wanted to make. So that's why I recommend
canon film, which that didn't help.
Yeah, and they were sucking money away trying to put it into the Masters of the Universe, which
yes, and it looked like it lost some. It looked like it cost by far the least of those original movies.
Oh.
Right.
It looked like I could have made that film.
Yeah, let's go through the chat real quick here before we get the next one. But,
garbage before. It's a great line, man. Look, Superman 2. I'm gonna have to eat my words and put that second. There's a lot of love for Superman 2.
love Superman 2. I love the villains, man. They set it up at the beginning of Superman 1 when they get taken off and to prison, whatever, and then Superman 2. And then those movies are supposed to be back to back. Like I said, Richard Donner got fired. Like I said, and I agree. The Donner cut is kind of a mess. To me, it's just hard to watch it because it's just not. It's incomplete, and it's just like the stuff is worded.
Yeah, it's a nice experiment, but it's not a movie.
And it's so sad too to watch Richard Donner when they didn't want to put any money into it. Warner Brothers didn't put any money into it. He thought they were going to put CGI and fix that movie.
They didn't help him out at all.
You see that in the featurette on that. He said, "Oh, we don't have the budget for that," and you see his disappointment at the point. Like, oh, you're not going to do anything with this?
They didn't give him the Zack Snyder treatment.
Yeah, they give Zack Snyder $75 million to do his version. So,
but that movie was a masterpiece. So
yeah,
that movie was so damn good.
Talking about the Justice League Snyder cut.
Oh yeah,
I like the Justice League.
Yeah, the Justice League Snyder cut is an amazing piece of work. What I like about that is you have to watch it though, as though it's a miniseries.
Yeah.
So because over 4 hours, that's way too long. But if you treat it like watching 4 episodes of Stranger Things, you can get through it, and it's easy to chew on.
Right.
I agree.
But yeah, that was a much better film than the Joss Whedon version.
Yeah. So.
Where did Mike? Oh, he ranked it like second to last.
Oh yeah, I can rank them real quick. Of course.
Yeah,
Man of Steel, Superman the movie, Superman 2, Superman 3, Return of Superman, this Superman, then Superman 4, and Supergirl and all that.
Oh, you're putting everything. The cartoons are
the whole thing. Yeah.
So the next one here is, as far as Superman, the actors that have played Superman in the films, not the TV series or anything. Where would you rank David Corenswet as far as your Superman rankings, like the actors that have played Superman? Where would you rank him in there? Because I really liked him in Pearl. I already knew the actor he was. I thought this guy is very capable of being a very good actor.
I think he's really great in this role and in this universe. I think he's well casted. Okay, where does he rank in this film version of Superman? People who have played Superman, where would I put him? I mean, he's only done one movie. So, the only other one that only played him once was Brandon Routh.
Right.
And I think he's better. But I didn't hate Brandon Routh. Yeah, he just seemed like he was doing a Christopher Reeve impression where this guy was kind of playing himself. So I'd put him ahead of him. Reeve played him 4 times and is iconic. To me, Christopher Reeve's Superman is almost like Boris Karloff's Frankenstein. Yeah. Like, he's kind of the standard, and everything else is like, maybe someone does good and makes it their own, but like, that's kind of the bar. Yeah, that's kind of the bar. So I'd have to put him 1. I'd put Cavill 2 because I did like him, and he played him multiple times, and I don't think he ever, he himself never did a disservice. Mm-hmm. This guy, I think Corenswet, more roles. could pass him just as Superman. I do think he's good, and I think his Clark Kent, he needs more. They need more Clark Kent stuff for me to really. But he seems like he could do it. You know what I mean? Like I think he can kind of do the both. Well, if he had more time, if they spend a little less time with the Justice Gang and a little more time with Clark Kent, I think, but I think he's gonna. I think ultimately he might be the second one right after Reeve when it's all said and done. In my opinion,
maybe, yeah, possibly. I kind of agree with that. It's possible. As far as an actor, I think he might be a better actor than Henry Cavill. But I like Henry Cavill. He just looks like Superman. He's got that build.
Looks like an
He's
action
very
figure.
strong. Yeah, but he was kind of one dimensional in some ways. But as far as Superman, as far as Henry Cavill's Clark Kent, I thought it was very, very weak. They didn't really go with him very much, and in this movie they really didn't go with Clark Kent very much either. But in this movie, he didn't have like the Christopher Reeve where he part his hair and one side or the other. He had this kind of more of a modern kind of hairstyle. But Huck, what do you think as far as where would you rank David Corn Sweat as Superman?
See, when I go to rank, you can't just rank Superman. You have to rank them as Clark Kent as well because they're playing a dual role. Yeah. And obviously, Chris is at the top. Like again, he had 4 movies to do it, but even in just the one, he did better duality than any of these guys you can stack up against him, hands down. Like I watched, like Warner Brothers does sort of this live feed thing. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It says Superman on now live, and you just click it, and it's just clips. And I think they do it like when it's coming around, so it's clips of Superman. And they had that scene where he's in the alleyway, and the guy goes, "Give me your money," and he points the gun. He goes, "Oh, Lois, what yeah." Because Lois is trying to like kick the gun out of the guy's hand, and he's so like impish. It's hilarious. And then of course he catches the bullet, passes out. And then when she gets up, he looks at the bullet, tosses it, smirks to the camera, walks away. Like
great
that's
scene.
What everybody else is missing is that moment that Chris has. So, but with that said, I still think David in this one movie, because I've seen it twice, I'm able to say, oh, he didn't do Clark enough. He did Clark more than Cavill did Clark.
Right.
And Cavill has no. He was just a hot freaking Clark. Like Cavill was hot. Like everyone would look at him and go, "That's freaking Superman," because he didn't try to nerd it up. Corn Sweat had the cauliflower hair that they talk about, which is kind of funny. But there was just zero duality. And while I like the Man of Steel, I like his look. I'm not like pooing on it. I like his look as Superman, but it was very monotone. His Clark Kent was monotone. So because of that, I put him last. And I think that Brandon comes third because I think Brandon still had some charm to him as both Superman and Clark. Because again, even if he was channeling Chris, that's okay. Because that means if he is, he has to pull off both parts. And he was given that a go. So because our boy Henry, as good as he looked in the suit, and as good as he was as looking like Superman, he wasn't really. He's very forgettable as Clark Kent. So I'd have to put him last. Now, Mike, go ahead and put him first. Let's hear it.
Go, Mike.
Unfortunately, no. So he will be at the bottom, Mr. Corn Sweat. Doesn't mean he's terrible or anything. Like I said, I think he did his best job he could with what he was given, but he just doesn't feel like a Superman actor to me or a Clark Kent actor. I don't know where I would cast him in the DC universe. Maybe as a Robin, possibly an older Robin.
A 6'7" Robin. He's too
like a Nightwing, like a Nightwing. I could see.
You're being silly.
No, I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. So that's how I'd rank them. So Henry Cavill as Superman, the best by far, no competition. Best Clark Kent, Tom Welling from Smallville. I actually really liked the first few seasons of Smallville.
We weren't doing TV.
I thought I got Clark Kent perfectly. So
I agree, but we're not doing TV.
I thought we were doing Superman actors.
Movies only.
That's why we didn't have Dean Cain. That's why we didn't have
Dean Cain or that new guy on that other one.
We gotta talk a little bit about Smallville once in a while. Smallville was such a good show for a few seasons.
Yeah, I love Smallville.
All right, Christopher Reeve, best person, not best Superman, not best Clark Kent, best person. So I appreciate that.
Best guy.
Yeah, and because I really love that documentary, like all the charity work,
was
like,
so good.
beautiful,
That was
beautiful.
so good.
Heck, if I can throw that movie on the ranking list, that'd be pretty.
I was, yeah.
Great movie. Yeah.
And then Brandon, you know, he's okay, he's fine. But yeah, so Corn Sweat at the bottom for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Well, for me, just real quick, Christopher Reeve number 1, Henry Cavill number 2. Corn Sweat right now is number 3, but he could move up to number 2. He'll never overtake Christopher Reeve. And then Brandon Routh, even I do like him a lot. He's 4th, but I do like that actor a lot. He's great in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, that character. So I like that actor a lot.
So funny.
Great.
And he was also on he was in like a TV series too. It wasn't, I forgot what TV series it was, but he played like a kind of like superhero movie in a TV series on the WB or CW at one time. But I thought he was good on that. But yeah, for me, like Christopher Reeve will never be. You can never take him. Just like Gene Hackman. Whenever somebody mentioned Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, I agreed. Gene Hackman's always going to be Lex Luthor for me. Even though I like Nicholas Hoult, really great as Luthor in this one, and even though I like Jesse Eisenberg a lot, I hated his Lex Luthor. It was horrible.
Man,
Spacey was pretty good.
Rancher.
Eisenberg's the only one that's been a bad Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but he's a good actor, but he's just not.
Oh, he's a great actor in a specific type of role.
He's kind of limited, but what he does. But as far as doing comedic stuff, he tried to bring. He was like the comedy in the Zack Snyder.
He was still playing Mark Zuckerberg as
I liked him a lot in The Social Network. And it's just he's very limited as an actor. I think as far as he can do one type of thing. He's not very multi-dimensional. But as far as that's what I think of. But as far as like the 4th question here.
Well, hold on before you jump to that one, because I want to say I like where Mike, because he did bring up Welling as Clark, and if we are just going to dive onto that for a second, because I do love that we're talking sort of about Superman in general, that is also, Mike, I don't know if you would agree, that's where I think personally that is our best Lex Luthor. Michael Rosenbaum was freaking amazing. The way he played Lex is so smart. He always had something smart to say, always. And I've never seen him play like that. And he was dark, and he was cryptic, and just, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, I like Hackman, and he's funny and sort of goofy, and like, you know, he's a good Lex, but really Rosenbaum is the Lex Luthor. I think he's better than Holt. He's better than Spacey. I would have loved to have seen him play Lex because he has it down. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, now we need a multiverse. You just sold me on it.
Every minute.
Well, what's that movie?
Didn't they do that in Arrowverse? They brought Arrowverse. That's where they brought all the Superman.
Yeah,
actors.
Well, he showed up in that.
But that's a good point. That's a great point, because they always make Lex Luthor in these movies like a funny character for some reason, like just a goofy character to some extent. Why? Like, he's supposed to be a serious, like intelligent, like business person, like menacing the whole time. You never get that out of any of these movies. I don't know why.
He's the best in the cartoons.
I was just gonna say, if you watch the cartoon where Clancy Brown's doing the voice, that's sort of Rosenbaum's adult version.
Yep.
And that's who we needed in this movie.
The animation nails Lex every single time. The movies, the show, always perfect. Live action, it's true. He's a little jokey every time, you know.
In Smallville, though, I watched Smallville off and on, but weren't they like, wasn't Clark and Lex, weren't they like from the same high school or from the same town or something like that in there?
Same town.
Same town.
He saves Lex's life in the pilot. And Lex is older than Clark, by, you know, like Lex is sort of like mid to late 20s and Clark is in high school. So they're kind of close, you know, 20s to teens. But yeah.
Was that ever in the comics that way?
And they at some point, no, I think that they created its own world in that show, because that's Lex and Clark's relationship is always whoever takes on the mantle of the comic changes it, you know. Like Lex lost his hair because Clark crashed, or Lex lost his hair because of an accident. You know, it's always different reasons why he's bald. But and the two of them were sort of best friends for several seasons, much to his dad's behest. You know, like Jonathan Kent, you guys know, he did not like Clark socializing with Lex because he just knows what the family of Luthor's was like. That show was so good.
But Superman didn't show up on Smallville until like the last season?
Never. Technically,
I thought he showed up at the
he
end.
does become Superman in the final show, but you never see head to toe Welling in the suit. You
That's
see
surprising.
his head here,
Yeah.
and then there's some CGI flying of the character Superman, and then at the end he pops the shirt open and it's the Brandon Routh suit.
Okay.
So you get that as the final shot, which I loved. I actually didn't mind that he didn't suit up. I kind of like that he pops it open. You get the S because we know he's going to be Superman. I kind of like that as an ending.
Yeah, didn't that series go like 10 seasons, something like that?
Yeah,
That's amazing that it lasted that
way
long.
too long.
Yeah, a little
The
bit.
first few seasons are really good.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's amazing that series lasted so long. Smallville, yeah, Lois and Clark. I've never seen Lois and Clark either, so I'm not the most well-rounded Superman. I know the movies.
I don't watch
extremely
any
well.
shows, so I don't. I know of them, but I don't like watch a lot of TV. So I don't got time.
Hey, Christian's Vader. Oh,
Hey,
that's kind
that
of
was
a
a great Darth Vader. Okay, I love Star Wars 3. Let's go.
yeah.
Fell asleep watching Man of Steel. That's one complaint I have about Man of Steel. Like when you see Zod and Superman, they're both wearing these really dark suits in Man of Steel, and they're fighting up in the air, and like you can't really tell. At least I couldn't tell which one was which one's winning the fight or whatever. I had no idea. But, like
we were winning the fight.
Yeah, I like
They're
Man of
going
Steel
through
a
them
lot.
buildings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, Lex was always dastardly.
Yeah,
Like, he was
evil.
good, but he was menacing. Like no doubt. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Hackman was
Yeah,
great.
in this movie, like I said, all the punch moves and stuff, it's very much like a video game. he's telling the clone to have these combinations to try to beat.
I hated
Oh,
that.
you know what?
Yeah.
This, I know, Nate, you were talking kind of like Gen Z stuff before this.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little bit, there's that appeal there. I could see Gen Z people could love this movie because, like you guys said, there's a social media stuff in there. Okay.
It's made for a
man.
younger audience, and I mean, it's
For
like
sure.
adults can enjoy it
Yeah.
too, but it's made for them. It's made for that demographic, for sure. Okay, and as far as this, we just want to wrap it up with as far as the DCU. I've looked at some of the films that are in production. Possibly, I don't know if the success of this movie is going to derail any of those movies. We know we got Supergirl. It's going to be out for too long. It's got like another title. I just saw it's got Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, I think is the name of it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one. And then, like Mike mentioned, the Brave and the Bold, the Batman movie. That is going to be different. Like I read that today. Like I said, Robert Pattinson's going to do Batman 2, which is like 2027, which is kind of the DCEU extended universe.
So they're calling it Elseworlds. Anything that's not in the main line is like
Right.
Elseworld stuff.
Did they not learn from Marvel's mistakes?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that right there.
Yeah,
It's silly.
I guess there's gonna be a Swamp Thing movie. I think there might be another Blue Beetle, which I hope not. God, I didn't love that movie. And this is the other one. I don't think so. Clayface is another one.
R-rated. Clayface. It's gonna be R-rated.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
I just hope
really dark.
Clayface is like Alan Tudyk. I just want Alan Tudyk to play Clayface and play it
Right.
exactly the way he plays it in the Harley Quinn cartoon. Because it is
That might
so
be pretty
funny.
good.
Because he's an actor. I'm a thespian, and he becomes
Yeah.
the characters, and it's so good.
Yeah. As far as Mr. Terrific, like I said, we really like that. I really like that character.
I like him. I don't know if I want him for a whole entire movie. I like.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's a
Some people
standalone
are
movie.
great as a side character,
Side character, yeah.
and it works and it's perfect. I don't know.
I
if
love
as
his
a
one-liners.
lead,
It's
I don't
very
know.
very dry delivery. I love the
Yeah.
way.
That's like Drax. Like if they did a whole Drax movie from Guardians, I don't want that, but I
Yeah.
like him within the Guardians.
Yeah, I think most of them play out well like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say not him. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's a bummer.
Yeah. So the Batman. I think I said the Batman 2. I think will still be dark. I think it's
Oh, yeah.
like we saw. I thought the first Batman movie was really dark. I think you saw. He's supposed to be a vigilante in that movie, and near the end of the movie, he becomes more of like a protecting the citizens of Gotham. I think the next movie might be a little bit lighter than the Batman, but I don't think James Gunn's going to mess with that at all. That movie made like $770 million. and I don't think he wants to mess with that. And like, so he's going to have his own Batman, which is going to be lighter in tone, just like David Cornsweet. I think it'll
The
fit
light
this.
Batman.
This is
Yeah.
going to be so confusing, though, to the
Yeah,
audience.
that too.
For casual moviegoers, it's going to be weird.
Like, we'll get it, but I still
Yeah.
talk to people today that are like, they didn't even know the Superman was like a brand new start. So this is.
I use my dad as an example. If I try to tell him that there's a Batman movie and then another Batman movie with a different Batman, and he's just gonna be like, I don't want to see none of that.
Yeah.
Don't take me to neither one of those because it's too confusing.
It's kind of like when I was a
weird.
kid, my dad took me to see Never Say Never Again, the James Bond, and I had never seen him before, and I'd never seen that actor, and I was used to seeing Roger Moore play James Bond, and all of a sudden you've got two actors playing James Bond. Like this is not the James Bond that I've seen in Moonraker and Never Seen Never Again.
Recasting is a little different than having two simultaneous.
Wait,
Like,
and you
at
know
the
what?
same time.
Yeah.
I got to jump in here too, because I'm thinking more about the multiverse stuff. Now that I've simmered on it a little bit, you have Peacemaker here with this, and that show felt tonally different than this movie. Like even the Suicide Squad, that felt way tonally different than this Superman movie. So I still don't see how it's gonna mash. Like this is gonna be weird.
I also don't know how Peacemaker could be in this if he was in the Suicide Squad, which is set in the old DC.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
weird.
a
The choice
multiverse.
they made is very weird. Yeah.
Multiverse.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
whatever.
they're going to do that one. Yeah.
I'll tee it up like this, Mike. This is why I think, yes, those are all totally different. But that's the point is Peacemaker and Superman, they're all totally different. But if you think about it, Guardians was totally different than Iron Man. And, so you had some tonal differences in Marvel as well. This could just be, we're taking Superman and we're going to make that the most fantastical element. And then we're still going to have some of these other elements that you remember that are a little bit darker, like Peacemaker, and hopefully we get some of the Suicide Squads in there, because I don't think they're going to use Margot Robbie or anything. So to be a whole new Harley.
Right.
But there's a range though. Like this and the Batman are night and day. Literally, like there was no day scenes in the Batman. This was super bright and colorful. Like these are like opposite ends. Like.
I kind of like
it. I was sort of leaving that one out because I think it's like having the Joker movie come out while you still had Joker in the Zack Snyder stuff. Like Zack Snyder had his Joker and we had Joker, and that didn't flip people out. They still went and saw both.
They didn't go see Joker too.
Yeah,
well, that's because that movie sucked, even though you loved it.
Actually, that movie is awesome.
it's horrible.
It's
Not as good as the first Joker, but
no, not even close.
Not as good as anything. It's horrible.
In your words, it's the corn sweat of that universe. So.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a musical fan. I like a good musical.
Well, that wasn't one.
Wait, so
That's
what's
a
the
one
last?
and done movie for me. The second
What was the last
Joker.
question? Isn't it like where are we gonna?
The
what do we
Batman
see
too.
with
Like what we think
about
of
Batman? Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting at. So that's what I
Are
was
you
getting
looking forward to the Batman 2 will be darker than Superman since James Gunn? Okay. Yes, it will be different. Am I looking forward to it? Absolutely. I love Batman. Huck, I don't disagree with something you said right off the bat as far as tones. Man of Steel, the whole Batman, the comparison you made. I don't disagree because I love Batman and I like Man of Steel. So I've always liked Batman since I was a kid. Since like the animated series I grew up on, and Batman Forever, which say what you will, a lot of people don't
I like
like
that movie.
One of the first movies I saw at the theater that was like in a packed theater that like that's when I started loving going to the movies. It came out when I was like 7 years old or 8 years old. So I love Batman. I'm looking forward to that movie. I agree with Mike too, though. I think it's I won't say idiotic, but as close as you could get to idiotic to have two simultaneous Batmans on screen in film. I was talking with someone and I think when you're doing two different mediums, it's fine, right? Oh, look, Bin Buster. Oh, I was talking with him. When you're doing two different mediums, it's fine. If one's a cartoon or if one's a TV show and one's a movie, doesn't matter. two live action films
Right.
running at the same time with two different Batmans is dumb. I think it works for comic books. I do not think it works for film. That's why it's not really done usually, right? You can recast and it could be within the same universe, but to just have two separate ones is kind of goofy to me. And Steve, what you were saying when you were going through the like list of all the stuff that's coming out, I'm just going to say this about the DC universe. I think James Gunn was not a bad choice to sort of like, you know, helm this thing and get it going in a specific direction. He has a very specific product that he makes, and this Superman feels exactly like Guardians and the Suicide Squad is rated R, but it still has the same kind of feel, the humor, the jokes, and stuff like that. I know he's not going to be directing all of them, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overly excited for most of what they have coming down the pipeline. I think James Gunn is fantastic with small characters. Polka Dot Man, Mr. Terrific. You know what I mean? Like these guys, the whole entire Guardians,
King
who
Shark.
no one, King Shark. He's amazing at making these, like, even Guy Gardner. Like he's like the, 8th most popular Green Lantern, version. I think he's great at that. But I think that sensibility is leading to where we're getting all these weird movies. Like, how are we getting a Swamp Thing before someone a little bit more relevant? I don't know, Flash. I know they just did Flash, but I'm just saying, this is just blanket. Flash, Green Lantern. I know they're doing a show. I don't want to watch a TV show. I'm just talking about movies. Wonder Woman, things like that. We're getting Supergirl before we're getting a lot of other new Aquaman, I just think you have these sort of, DC has these titans, right? They have these like god characters, and we're focusing on all these little side characters first. And Marvel had to do it because they didn't have the rights to Spider-Man or the X-Men, which are like their biggest ones. So they had to do it with Iron Man. But even Iron Man and Captain America are more well-known than Swamp Thing or Clayface is a Batman villain. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I'm going to see them all. Let's be real. I'm going to see them all. But am I like, oh my God, I can't wait for Swamp Thing? Absolutely not. I'm not. The thing I'm most excited for, and then I'll stop, Jason Momoa as Lobo, excited. I think he's going to nail that, knock it out the park. I think he's supposed to be in Supergirl. I will watch that for him because I don't really care about Supergirl. But I like Jason Momoa, and I think he's going to rule as Lobo. So I'm not super excited where this is going. Mm-hmm. Batman 2 will probably be my favorite movie out of everything that comes out in the next 5 years for them. But maybe not. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but that's just the feeling I get.
Yes, The Authority is another one that Ben Buster mentioned. That's on my list here too.
Booster Gold or something. Like, it's all these people that, like, unless you're a diehard comic fan, I have no idea who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get excited for stuff like that.
I agree. Yeah, and then the Batman 2 got delayed. It's supposed to be out last year. It's supposed to come out next year, and then it's been delayed.
Like the first one came out 7 years ago. I don't even remember. It's been so long.
So, but yeah, I think James Gunn's not going to screw with that movie at all. He knows better than the mess with the Batman 2. But he's gonna. I don't know if he's going to necessarily direct anything else. I think he just wanted to set the tone for the DCU.
He's like the Kevin Feige of DC, essentially, which is good. And if they get good directors and they cast well, like, maybe then my excitement will be like, okay, I'm a little more excited. But like, from what I've heard, it's like Andy Muschietti or whatever for Brave and the Bold. Like,
let's go.
He did the Flash. Yeah. Like, no for me. So I don't know.
Right, I was like hearing Mike go, yeah, and Nate's like, no.
No,
yeah. It was sarcastic, yeah.
Yeah. And the Batman stuff in the Flash was good, but still doesn't make me want it. So
it's a thing from the Authority, yeah. So that's we'll see. I mean, I'll, like I said, just like Nate, I'll go see all these movies, but I'm not extremely excited. No, here's Jeff just popped in.
He might be cool. I just don't know who it is. So like, unless you read it, the comic, I don't know who Booster Gold is. Like, I just feel like you should come out with, if you're doing this, because it's not just for us, nerds and geeks who read comics. That's kind of the built-in, and then you want to expand. Like Huck said, you want to hit all the quadrant, women, children, old, young, everything. I feel like you should start with the bigger, broader characters, and then you start. Guardians was like the 8th or 9th MCU movie. It wasn't the 2nd. You know what I mean? So that's just me, though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much.
Well, so anybody else have anything else to add?
Yeah, I haven't chimed in yet because Nate, I think you're absolutely right. Look, I grew up loving both. I bought both comics, Marvel and DC. But for me, my two favorite comics was Justice League and the Avengers, because when you started running low on money, those had the most characters in one book. So you could So those ended up being the last two books I held on to because I loved both of them. But the thing about Justice League is they are the legacy characters. They trump everything with Marvel's got, because when you say Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, that is sort of that 5 hierarchy of ultimate superheroes that most people all know. And yes, we got a taste of a Green Lantern in this, and we have a Green Lantern show coming, but that'll be a show. I do find it strange that we're looking at things like Swamp Thing, Peacemaker, Booster Gold, Clayface as the upcoming list, because I love that Gunn has the taste for the weird. But like you said, he also won't be directing all of those. And if other people don't have the same gift for the weird that he does, those are going to be a much harder sell. And look how the Suicide Squad didn't do well, even though we loved it. I love that movie.
I love that movie, yeah.
But audiences didn't click with it. So if they can't click with a movie that well done with weird characters, I worry for those other plates, And I think we need Wonder Woman. We need to see Wonder Woman, and we need to see Batman before we're going on to a Clayface. Because I mean, I get it. He's got a plan, and I like Gunn. I like his humor. I like personally, and I like a little comedy tossed in there. But yeah, if we don't start seeing like the other two, Batman and Wonder Woman come out, and I think he'll design it so that Matt Reeves, Batman 2, and look, we know Matt Reeves. If we've heard, he's kind of ill of health. He's had some health problems.
Oh, really?
So will Matt Reeves even be the one that finishes Batman 2? I don't know. I don't know what the full story is, but that's why it's also taking so long.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll design it so that comes out all by itself in a year where Batman isn't coming out as part of this universe. Wow. So whenever Batman pops into this Corn Sweat universe, it can't be on the same year that we finally get the sequel. So in 2027, I don't think you're going to see Batman in the Corn Sweat universe. Yeah. But I feel like we need to see him next year. But all his things are being shot and we haven't heard anything. So does that mean we're not getting Batman until 2028?
Ooh.
And the fact that they're doing Clayface before Batman, he's a Batman villain.
Who is a Batman villain?
Yeah, imagine if like Marvel years ago was like, you know what, we want to make Spider-Man, but we're not sure about it. Let's make a Doc Ock movie with before and test the waters. People are like, where's Spider-Man? I don't know. Weird.
See, I'm with you in that Clayface should, because we're so tired of the same Batman roles as well. Just like we're tired of Lex Luthor. Make the Clayface movie the new Batman movie. So we get the new Batman with an absolutely bonkers villain, because then if you've got Clayface, that puts him in the Corn Sweat universe, because Clayface does not fit in the Robert Pattinson universe at all. There is a way you could fit Clayface into that universe and have anybody believe it. But you can put it in the Corn Sweat universe, and that's I think where it should be a Batman movie with Clayface.
That's Agreed.
All right, everybody. So let's see. We got one more comment.
What? I can't rant a little bit.
Yeah, Mike, what's up?
Go ahead, Mike.
The universe they're trying to do, give it back to Zack Snyder. Like I said, DOA. This is not the way to start a DC universe. Batman should always be the backbone. Batman's the most popular character. That needs to be the focus of your movies. Now, just one Batman, not multiple Batman, because we already said it's going to be way too confusing to the audience. And James Gunn, I think, is actually not a good executive in this role he has as a head of a studio. I think he's a great creative. Like, let him be a director for a few movies and a writer. That's fine. Let him work with that. but the decisions he's making is so odd. Like you guys said, all these random movies, side characters, and like even like Creature Commandos apparently is a part of this universe. So now we have a cartoon connected to a live action universe. It's just too weird already. We're only, I don't know, one movie in, you could say. Like, it's just why? So it's our, we see that it doesn't work with the box office. Zack Snyder did just as good or even better. So we gave James Gunn a chance. Sorry, James Gunn, you're not the guy for this. We'll call you back as a writer, call you back as a director. Let's give it back to Zack Snyder. Or we just got to do a hard reboot. And I mean an actual hard reboot. You can't bring back Peacemaker. You can't bring back these Creature Commando characters. Like, I hate when these places say, we're going to do a hard reboot, and it's never a hard reboot. It's always a half reboot. I'll keep some of the characters I like, and then we'll do some fresh new characters, right? Just do a hard reboot if you're going to go that way with it. But yeah, I'm not excited for any of this DC stuff. I'm a big superhero fan, so I'll see them all. But I have a feeling they're going to be more 3-star superhero movies for me than 4 and 5 star. And right now I'm looking for 4 and 5 stars in my film journey. So I just feel like it's all going to be the same, very similar. And I think James Gunn has been doing a lot of like the directing work and the writing work. Like, I feel like he's not reaching out to too many outside people yet. I mean, he can't even get Matt Reeves like to get going. Like, Matt Reeves is taking his sweet time. Now, I did hear, you know, behind the scenes stuff, like there's major issues. So definitely, you know, heart goes out to Matt Reeves and all that stuff, right? But if Matt Reeves can't deliver your product, your business product, sorry, Matt Reeves, when you're ready, we'll call you back, right? Maybe you do a Batman 4, right? But we got to get this Batman train going. So just call in a different director for the Batman 2. Right? There's plenty of good creators and directors out there. So just waiting 10 years on the Batman 2.
That already Alvarez in there, you know, to direct Batman 2. That'd be rad.
Probably kill it. Honestly,
I mean, that'd be
rad.
Yeah. So like, this is just all messy from the beginning, and it shouldn't ever be this messy starting out. Like, Marvel's messy now, but they at least got through a few phases.
They waited 30 movies to get messy.
Like, first movie, we're already at messy zone. Like, now we have to repair it. This is not a good sign.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know if the one movie is what's messy. It's the follow plans. The plans are messy. I think this was a fine starting point. Most people like it. It's not making the most money, but it's well received. It's well reviewed.
Because you can't do Superman as your first movie. Give me Batman movies. Batman
is the cash cow of DC.
You need the Batman. It's like Marvel knows it's Spider-Man for them. Like DC, you should know it's Batman, and then we'll do the rest of the Justice League. We'll get a Superman in there, get a Wonder Woman, we'll build it out. But just none of this Creature Commando crap. Like, cut it out. No more.
Batman and Superman have always been the tent poles for that. For DC,
but look, I mean, just to put it in perspective, okay, Batman Begins, your beloved Nolan trilogy, only made like just over 200 domestically, 375 worldwide. That's already less than what Superman's pulling in, and so people had to get on board with that. And then you give us Joker in the next movie, and it's a better movie. So to really like say that this isn't doing the trick, Mike, I think you have to give it see what the next one is. And see where that lands, much like The Dark Knight. I mean, that's your favorite movie.
Maybe Clayface will be amazing. Maybe it will be the 5-star right there.
Yeah. Batman Begins was 20 years ago, like 2005 numbers. Yeah,
but still, even if you adjust for inflation, I don't think it's going to top.
Because it had a budget of 150 in 2005, which would be higher.
And look, this had more to do. Like, that one came out of like trying to repair the Batman and Robin,
the debacle,
hideous debacle, right? This had an even bigger thing, which is, Mike, and I know you love the Snyderverse, but that was a big thing to overcome because those last movies just weren't killing it, you know. Even though I like the Flash, you like the Flash, Shazam, you and I are like the last two people to like Shazam too.
Shazam was awesome. Let's be real,
but it wasn't doing well, and so this movie had to change people's minds from the Snyderverse, which started to fail. Let's just call a spade, and then reboot it in a fresh positive way. And
This is not fresh. This is very unfresh.
it is super fresh. Super.
This was the most stale way you could half reboot a universe.
Oh, it's full reboot. It's all good.
You have Peacemaker. This is not a full reboot.
It's cousin.
You have Peacemaker. This is not a reboot.
No one's going to talk about Peacemaker. It's all good.
Well, yeah, this has been a lot of fun, guys. Like I said, I promise we do this like probably 90 minutes, so I don't want to keep you guys forever. But I do want to have you guys promote your channels. Starting with Mike, please let us know what you have coming up on your channel.
Yeah, MegaMikeTheMovieMan. I actually love superhero movies. It's my favorite genre. But, I got to be a critic sometimes. I got to be tough on these movies. But like I said, I do like Superman, but it should have been an easy love kind of movie for me, and it just wasn't. But yeah, if you just want the honest thoughts, come to my channel. I'll let you guys know about movies and all that fun stuff, physical media stuff. We got an epic battle tomorrow night, a showdown semifinal matchup with Second Sight versus Arrow. So we're going to see which boutique label wins that, and then that boutique label will go to the finals. So if you want to go ahead and join us tomorrow in the comments, cheer on your side, maybe get a chance to vote and all that fun stuff. Yeah, Steve's going to be on that one, so it's gonna be epic. We got like 9 people on that stream. It's going to be a great time. So if you love, once again, boutique labels, physical media, movie stuff, stop on by and enjoy. And yeah, Superman, you could have been better. I expected better.
All right, Nate, what do you have going on?
Yeah, Steve, thanks for having me. Great talking with you guys, all 3 of you, as always. These are always fun. You can find me here on YouTube, Geeks and Flix. I don't really do too many. I haven't done a review in months, so pretty much just doing the live streams now. Once a month, we rank a franchise, an entire franchise. This coming Sunday, we'll be ranking all 5 Die Hard films. We'll be joined by Brian from B-Dubs Movies, or he'll be joining us. And then Action Movie Guys is the podcast. So if anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, whatever, we're there. Action Movie Guys. And yeah, I'll be on one of them boutique battles coming up too on the Warner Archive.
Yep, the other semifinal matchup.
Yes, I'll be there when I forget when that is, but I'll be there. So I'll see you then.
Huck, what's going on?
All right, y'all. So yeah, Steve, this was fun, man. Thanks for having it. Like always, fun talking Superman. I like that. Huck's Pop Culture Cafe is my channel. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and right here on the lovely YouTube tomorrow morning. Even though I haven't posted the link yet, but I'll be doing my morning mug tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. California time. So do the math in your time zone. I also just put up a video talking about what it's like collecting. Am I getting over it? What are my feelings? So I know it's sort of a big buzz right now. A lot of people are kind of doing, and I was encouraged by Mel over at My Killer Podcast. She's like, "Do it, Huck, do it," because I mentioned it a little bit on one of my morning shows, but she encouraged me to do it. So I got a full video, and it's got lots of comments and interaction. So if you guys want to go check it out, I just want to know where you guys are at in the collecting world, the collecting community. And I do my 52-week movie challenge every single week. I'll be posting probably either tonight or tomorrow the one for this week, which was an anthology. So I watched, what was it? The Trick or Treat, because I watched that for the first time last year. And I fell in love with that movie. I love Trick or Treat. And sure enough, go check. The review will be coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I guess that's it for now.
That's a Trick or Treat, the newer one, right?
Our Trick or Treat.
Yeah, that's a great movie too. Yeah, I love the 80s movie too. Trick or Treat, the 86 movie. I love that movie too. But both of them are really great. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate you all showing up on my channel. Like I said, this is a big deal for me to have 3 guests on my channel. It's never happened before. I hope it happens. I hope I get more guests from YouTube on my channel. But I'm on Excelsior Movie Reviews that you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Letterboxd under the same name. I'm probably going to do, the Criterion sale runs out on a Sunday, the 27th. So I'm going to have some kind of Criterion related. It's not going to be a haul video, but something related to Criterion happening this Friday. But yeah, this has been so much fun. Everybody in the chat, I love the fact so many people showed up. It's like I've never had that. Well, I've had people I do live streams as far as digital code giveaways, and I get a lot of people through that, but just have just having this many people watching at the same time was a big deal for me.
Great job, chat.
I'm not even at 1,000 subs yet, but just to get people to find all this support from people, I love it so much. And you guys, like I said, you guys are great friends. I really appreciate you showing up tonight. But that's all we have for tonight. Like I said, Mike, I'll see you on your channel tomorrow night for the contest there, Arrow and the Second Sight. But yeah, everybody have a great night. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna let you guys go for the evening, but yeah, everybody in the chat, really appreciate you, and everybody have a great one. I'm gonna hit the end stream here, and we'll chat just for a second after this. But let's end stream. Yeah, thanks everybody.